Welcome to Growing the Ozarks, everyone. This is Kelly McGowan, your host, and I'm with University of Missouri Extension. And today we have guest Loring Bullard with us. And Loring has a long history of environmental education here in the Ozarks. Served as executive director for the Watershed Committee of the Ozarks. You've taught courses at Drury University, a watershed consultant for James River Basin Partnership. You sit on the boards of the Ozark Land Trust, Dark Sky, Missouri. You've authored several books about the natural history of the Ozarks. So you have a long history in this area, Loring, and we appreciate you joining us today.
Well, it sounds like I've been busy.
You have been very busy, yes. All right. Well, Loring, the vision of the home landscape is changing. You know, several years ago, everyone thought that your home lawn should just be green grass and shrubs that were pruned to squares, and we're kind of not there anymore. People know that we need pollinator habitats, we need less water usage, less pesticide usage. And the definition of what a beautiful yard is has changed. So what is your definition of a beautiful yard?
Well, in the past, it's been a cosmetic consideration primarily. You know, it's the looks. So you want your yard to look good when somebody drives by or walks by, and, you know, your bushes are nice and neat. Your grass is neatly manicured and green. And we're just learning more all the time about ecological health. And beauty is really partly about the ecological health of your yard, because what people seem to forget is that their yard is part of the local ecosystem. It's not separate from it. So there are considerations when you own land to invite nature in and take nature into consideration. One of the ways you can do that is plant native plants. You mentioned that as a key thing that people need to be thinking about, that native plants are adapted to grow here. They grow well. They don't need as much care as some of the non-native plants, and they offer these what we call ecosystem services. Like you mentioned, pollination, plants for the pollinators. People want to have birds, bees, and butterflies, but to do that, they need to make sure that they have the landscape that will attract them, and that is largely native plants. Not that we have to get rid of the non-natives. Flowers are beautiful whether they're native or not, and some non-native flowers have benefits too, provide nectar for butterflies, for example. So it's not a matter of overhauling your yard. It's largely a matter of doing two things: more native plants, less turf, because turf has really very little ecological value.
Right, and a lot of people think they have to have several acres to make a big environmental impact, and the reality is most lots in an urban area are about a quarter of an acre, and even a small quarter of an acre lot, you can really make a big impact.
That's right, and that's something to give people hope that, you know, you don't have to have a big farm or a big landscape, you know, to have an impact on this. It's amazing the number of pollinators and birds that you can attract to a very small lot. There's a lot of examples of people here in Springfield that are doing just that, you know, birds that you would have thought you'd never see in an urban landscape are showing up. So, yes, you can have a very big impact on a pretty small space.
All right. And as we go into fall and the leaves start falling from the trees, everyone is always anxious to get those raked up and disposed of. But we've really seen a movement called Leave the Leaves the last few years. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, what kind of opened my eyes to this is a book by Doug Tallamy called The Nature of Oaks. And oaks are our native tree. Oaks and hickories are natives to the Ozarks, but they provide so many ecological services. And one of those is hosting caterpillars and insects. So a lot of those insects are in the trees on the oak leaves when they fall. And so when you remove all those leaves from your yard, you're taking away a big source of food for birds. Birds eat seeds, a lot of them, in the fall, but when you have baby birds, they need insect food. And so it's important that you have those caterpillars and insects for those birds to find. So if you remove all the leaves from your yard, you're cutting your ecological potential off the knees. And so what we try to do is convince people to leave at least some of the leaves. You know, you can't just let them pile up forever, but it's surprising how quickly they go away. If you just leave them on the ground over the winter, they disintegrate, and it provides nutrients for the soil. So, you know, it's not like they're wasted. But it's important to leave at least some of them.
Okay, very good. Loring, thank you for being with us today. And as we close, tell us what your website is if people want more information.
It's the Backyard Naturalist, but that domain name was already taken, and so you can just type in loringbullard.com, and that gets to me, the Backyard Naturalist.
All right, thank you. And we'll have the link on the Growing the Ozarks KSMU website as well. Loring, thank you for joining us today.
Kelly.
This has been Kelly McGowan with Growing the Ozarks.